thank you for inviting me. I thought I'd start by thinking, why China? That's a question that might come into people's minds. Some people are interested in China, and some people they sort of think that's the last place they would like to go. So I thought I'd start from when I was a child, and I read, this actually is the book that I had about a lady called Gladys Aylward, who was an English missionary who went to China, and it's called Never Say Die. You might have seen the film, what was it, Inn of Six Happiness, yeah, which isn't like the real thing at all. A little bit, but not really. So I read about Gladys Aylward as a girl, as a child, and it was sort of like a dream that grew really in my heart at some times, and then other times was sort of put aside. And I trained as a teacher, and then later I was able to go and teach English as a foreign language in China in different universities. And I think I had it was a sense of adventure was one of the things that was good about it, and I've always enjoyed travelling. A sense of adventure, and also a sense of God's calling that I trained as a teacher. And I suppose since I was quite young, I've kind of known that I would be working abroad, but not quite knowing in what sense. But I very much felt a sense of purpose, and that God wanted me to teach in this way. And as well as being able to teach English, which I know Julie did in Japan as well, didn't you? It was a lovely opportunity to be able to befriend students. I was a bit younger then, so I was a bit closer to the student university age. And there were just so many opportunities to be friends with people. I mean, it was much less sophisticated then than it would be now. And in the evenings, the students would all go back to the classroom to do their studying, and sometimes they would all sit around together and sing, each one sing a song from their village or something. You can probably remember that when you came to visit. So they wouldn't have had many facilities, and they'd have a sports track, and they'd sort of go running around there, or just sort of make their own entertainment, a little bit of film on a Saturday night. And so any friendship shared, and we used to go on bike rides and sort of climb local mountains and things, anything, they really appreciated that. A lot of them were very far from their homes. And I always felt a little kindness went a long way, or goes a long way in China. It's not an easy place for them to live, a lot of competition. And I know we were treated like royalty as a foreign teacher. Very often we were taken to banquets and things, and I was aware that it was like being royalty, but it could go to your head if you stayed too long, I think. Culture. I was often asked to teach about Western customs, and so that was good, and people would ask questions. And when it came to Christmas, of course, they asked things about Christmas, and it's quite a puzzle for a lot of people. It's supposed to be a Christian festival, but a lot of what goes on doesn't have much to do with sort of the real meaning. So people would ask questions, and we were able to do like some little celebration about Christmas with songs and drama, whatever. Or sometimes we had students in our homes, or we had something called an English corner, where people would all meet in part of the campus and all talk English, and they used to ask us the same questions every time. Is it always foggy in London? And does everybody take an umbrella with them? And that sort of thing. And also at Easter as well, people asked lots of questions, and it was a real privilege to be able to be there. When I went back again in 2001. I met a little baby who I was then later able to foster and then adopt, and that's my daughter Esther. It's been sort of God's miracle really, right from the beginning, through lots of struggles, and God enabled me to be able to foster Esther and adopt her. I mean, it's a long story, I can tell you if you want to ask, but she had a lot of medical problems. She had a very serious heart condition, apart from other things. And my mum wonderfully came out, didn't you, and was able to help, and really God just worked in a wonderful way to enable me to be able to adopt Esther. I'm a single person and I have health problems as well, so normally it wouldn't have been allowed, but it was just amazing. God overruled that really, and so I was able to bring Esther back before she was 2. She'd been with me since she was about that big, when she was about 6 weeks old. So really, just to say that through all of that, even up to the present day, many of you who know me will know that I've been through struggles just very, very lately, but I've known that God has been with me, and sometimes it's been through sort of family and church friends praying when I can't sort of see the way ahead, but I've just known that He's with me and He's enabled me, so it's a privilege to be able to sort of carry on that journey with Him.
Thank you, Susan. Thank you for sharing that.